In the last 5 years, our country has fought through the most challenging times since the Second World War. Now is the moment for Britain to choose its future.
For Rishi Sunak, it began in the rain and it never got better. A lacklustre campaign from the start.
Hi, everyone!
Offending veterans.
On reflection, that was a mistake and I apologise.
Alienating voters, dodgy betting, and even failing to win over those whose very instinct is to follow. For the Tories, the game was up.
The question now is, who do you trust?
There was no rain 14 years ago. Rather, it was sunshine in the rose garden, the birth of a new politics, a new bromance even, albeit a manufactured one.
Working together, I know we can take the country through those difficult times to the better times that I believe lie ahead.
It ushered in a decade and a half of Tory dominance, yes, but the soundtrack was one of protest as Cameron's cuts went deep. And it was a dominance also tempered by divisions over Europe. A confident David Cameron gave the people the final say.
I will go to Parliament and propose that the British people decide our future in Europe.
But buoyed by Boris's boosterism, the people said leave.
Let's vote leave, take back control of this country.
Sky News is projecting that the UK has voted out.
The Leave campaign managed to cut through on immigration, and I think the problem for the Remain campaign was it was the very early stages of populism. People hadn't spotted that. They hadn't expected the levels of discontent that were going on. What had happened was millions of people who traditionally don't vote, and pollsters had discounted, had voted.
Cameron was not the first Prime Minister to be haunted by Europe, but certainly the first to be broken by it.
I love this country and I feel honoured to have served it.
It was Theresa May's misfortune to be tasked with seeing Brexit through. For a Remainer turned ardent Leaver, it was an awkward dance to pull off. Her legacy, one of failure.
Brexit means Brexit, and we're going to make a success of it.
Public humiliation and catastrophic miscalculation.
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
A snap election in 2017 cost her a working majority, and that was pretty much that.
With enormous and enduring gratitude to have had the opportunity to serve the country I love.
Then it was Boris's time, and Get Brexit Done, Oven-Ready Deal and Levelling Up all forced their way into the national discourse. He won big at his Christmas election. The Tories looked set for years in power.
Mr Corbyn, this is the worst Labour defeat in decades.
Defeated Labour left, licked their wounds, and then a hitherto unknown virus in a little-known city in China changed everything.
I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home.
As Britain locked down, Boris Johnson went down with the virus. Mercifully, it did not do for him physically, but politically, there was no way back.
And it was not socially distanced.
Downing Street parties and one particular image of a bereaved queen steadfastly sticking to the rules her Prime Minister had broken saw to that. Suddenly he was more popular abroad, particularly in Kyiv, where his support was unwavering, than he was at home.
I want you to know how sad I am to be giving up the best job in the world. But them's the breaks.
It all led to the era of Truss, if you can call it an era, a misjudged budget.
I'm not going to cut the additional rate of tax today, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to abolish it altogether.
A collapse in the markets, and before you knew it, the tabloids were having fun. A lettuce outlasted the fourth Conservative Prime Minister in 6 years.
I believe in the British people, and I know that brighter days lie ahead.
Britain became a laughingstock, and public trust in the Tories evaporated.
I think that we've spent so long talking to ourselves often in the party, not talking to the country, that we have got an awful lot of trust to win back.
On reflection, Rishi Sunak, in truth a novice politician, had little chance.
Mr. Sunak, can you really unite the party now?
A Tory-weary country to run and a rejuvenated Labour Party to face.
See if he can finally find somebody, anybody, anywhere to vote for him and call a general election now.
Problems to the left for Sunak and problems to the right, as red wall Tories sought refuge in a new party that would eventually be run by a familiar foe.
The reality is for Rishi Sunak, it was probably all over before he started. We'd had the situation of not being able to deal with immigration, Partygate and the mini budget. It's very hard for any politician to deal with those reverses and come back.
He called his election early, and the rest is history. 14 years of Conservative rule has drawn ignominiously to a close, and one of Britain's great political parties is left to fight for its very existence.